The Marathi Empire declared victory over humanity before its invasion fleet reached Earth. Their emperor stood beneath a ceiling of captured flags, raised a jeweled blade, and announced that the Terran question had been settled. Because human border stations had gone dark, human patrols had withdrawn, and human diplomats had requested emergency talks. To the Marathi, all three signs meant collapse. No one asked why the humans had stopped firing after only losing unmanned stations. That question would have saved them. The first Marathi ships entered the Proxima colonies and found quiet. Not panic, quiet, hangars empty, fuel tanks drained, data cores removed, kitchen lights still glowing in worker dormitories on the central plaza. Someone had painted a message in blue letters for orbital cameras. "Congratulations," the Marathi commander laughed and sent images home. Claiming he had captured the first human world without a battle, the emperor declared the planet liberated from human stubbornness, and millions cheered 10 minutes later. Every Marathi landing craft lost power. Every bridge sealed itself, and the plaza message changed. Congratulations on entering Phase 1. The humans had not abandoned Proxima because they feared invasion. They had abandoned it to make Marathi stand in predictable places. Dock clamps became locks. Streetlights became scanners. Cargo elevators became traps. Marathi officers tried to rally troops, but their armor displayed evacuation arrows, their rifles announced safety violations, and their tanks sank through false pavement into foam-filled chambers. No one died unless they forced the issue, which made it worse. Marathi pride could survive casualties. It had no language for being captured by infrastructure. The Empire called it a trick. Humanity called it not fighting yet. Emperor Thalen refused to recognize the humiliation. He announced that Proxima was irrelevant and pushed toward Earth's industrial belt. There, his heavy fleet met no human battle line. Only scattered mining stations, old freighters, and repair drones drifting like insects around asteroids. The Marathi admiral declared another victory, ordering banners raised across the main dreadnought. Then the asteroids moved. Not all, only the ones humans had hollowed, armed, and taught to pretend they were stone. Rail lances fired from rock, mining lasers cut shield seams, and freighters unfolded into tug swarms that dragged Marathi cruisers into one another without wasting missiles. Phase 2 was geometry. The Marathi were brave, disciplined, and completely unprepared for an enemy that refused to behave like an enemy. Humans did not hold glorious lines. They made the battlefield inconvenient. They shifted gravity, flooded sensor space with music recordings and tax forms, turned captured Marathi formations into traffic jams, and disabled command ships without destroying their crews. Thalen watched the battle reports with growing fury, but his ministers kept repeating the same comfort. Earth still had not deployed its main fleet. Surely that meant the humans had no main fleet. Surely this was the last reserve. Surely victory remained inevitable. The galaxy would remember the word surely with pity by the time the Marathi reached Mars. They had already lost 40% of their fleet to accidents that were not accidents. Their troops were hungry because supply ships had been politely redirected to empty coordinates. Their priests were exhausted because every human channel played Marathi funeral hymns backward during sleep cycles. Their commanders were divided because forged orders had made half the fleet prepare for parade formation and the other half prepare for siege. Still, Thalen declared victory a third time. He appeared on every screen and said the red world would kneel before sunset. Mars answered by turning on the lights under the dust beneath old domes, inside canyons and abandoned terraforming wells. Weapons woke like buried dragons, not apocalypse weapons, but precise instruments built by a species that hated wasting metal and lives. Mars did not bombard the Marathi fleet. It dismantled it. Engine rings snapped. Weapon mounts fused. Shield projectors overheated. Command towers went blind, and each disabled ship received boarding instructions, along with oxygen estimates. The Marathi admiral realized the humans had been saving their cleanest tools for the moment. Empire had nowhere left to pretend. Phase 3 was honesty. Humanity finally spoke to Emperor Thalen directly. The message came from a woman named Admiral Lena Ward. Seated in a plain command chair aboard a ship, the Marathi database is identified as a museum vessel. Behind her, through the viewport, hung hundreds of Marathi warships. Captured, disabled, or surrounded by rescue craft. She congratulated Thalon on his victories. Proxima, the Belt, Mars. All glorious achievements. All recorded, all witnessed. Then she asked whether he wished to continue winning until his empire had no ships left. Thalon did not know what to declare. He ordered a desperate strike at Earth, because tyrants fear silence more than defeat. His Royal Guard fleet broke formation and charged the blue planet. Broadcasting victory chants, it crossed the lunar line and found Earth waiting. Not hidden, not frightened, waiting, oceans opened. Sky platforms descended from clouds, lunar batteries aimed with ceremonial slowness, and the human main fleet emerged from the dark side of the moon larger than Marathi intelligence imagined. Thalon understood then that everything before had been restraint. Humanity had not begun fighting because humanity had been trying to end the war without it. The Royal Guard lasted for minutes. No explosions lit Earth's sky. Human fire cut engines, pinned weapons, severed command links, and left every ship alive, floating in disciplined shame. Thalon's flagship was boarded by Marines, who stepped over fallen banners and treated wounded Marathi before reaching the throne deck. The Emperor raised his jeweled blade. Admiral Ward took it from him like a teacher removing a toy from a cruel child. He whispered that Earth had tricked him. She replied, "No, you declared victory over a door, then over a hallway, then over a warning. You never reached the room after the surrender." The Marathi Empire kept its songs, but changed the last verse. It no longer spoke of Earth as conquered. It spoke of the day arrogance mistook restraint for defeat. The galaxy studied the campaign for generations, not because humanity won, but because humanity won while trying not to show what winning could have looked like. Earth rebuilt what little had been damaged, returned prisoners, and sent the Emperor home without his blade, so his people could see exactly what pride had cost. Every new empire learned the lesson. Never declare victory over humans until they have decided the war has actually started.